I am really angry right now. Really angry. All the information I'm seeing right now, everything, my feeds are flooded with what's going on in Ethiopia. And this is a direct result of all the actions being taken by the Ethiopian diaspora. I'm speaking specifically to the Oromo diaspora. I'm angry for so many reasons. So many reasons. I'm going to try to calm myself down. My family told me not to be too angry, that I have to explain my side and not jump on the people. But it's very difficult for me. There's so many reasons. The first reason is that the Ethiopian diaspora, you sit in the comfort of your life, and then you tell people, people in Ethiopia back home, to go and kill Ethiopians. I don't care where they're from, whichever tribe. You go and tell them. You live your comfortable life here, and they go and kill their innocent lives. What do you have to say for yourself? That's one reason. That's the first and the most crazy reason. The second reason, you go in London and the US, you go and march on the streets. You go to foreign news outlets to report what's going on and that you're not heard. Do you think they care? Foreign news outlets are damaging. They damage us more than anything else. But you're not thinking about that. You're only thinking about what you feel and what you want. I looked at the news on Al Jazeera, how they're covering what's going on. Their demand for the internet shutdown to stop is not to our interest. It's not to our benefit. Our country is right now under attack. Internally, but my personal belief is from outside. The shutdown is called for. So you motivate the foreign news outlets to push further to demand for the internet to be not shut down. Nonsense. Our country will rule the way it needs to be ruled. The internet shutdown is called for. It's needed to stop from further incite of violence and death and misinformation and all the kind of nonsense that mostly comes from the diaspora. I'm so angry. You make us look bad. You think they listen? In the States, they don't even care for their own people, Black Lives Matter. You think they're going to listen to you? For heaven's sake, use your head. Why are you misinforming the young Oromo people? Why? You think, okay, you've not been heard. So what? So many tribes are not heard. Their reasons are not heard. Everyone needs to pause what their desires are for the progress of the masses, for all of us. The first priority is to fill the dam. Ethiopia is at a critical state. You think his murder happened by chance? Oh, I'm so angry. Just thinking from emotion, no logic. No thinking from the bird's eye view, looking at what's actually happening from the outside. You tell people to kill people, and then you use the wrong channels to do so. You make us look bad. There's no change that's going to happen. Egypt is now siding with you, inciting further violence to try to stop the dam and all the progress that we're making. How short-sighted. You have not been heard. Is that your only claim? That you want some land? Follow the right routes to disputes. Yes, maybe Abiy was wrong in some faults, but his positives outweigh his negatives. And here's another lesson for you guys. You're only thinking about yourselves, your needs, narrow vision. What does it take for a country to get out of poverty? What does it take? Do you think it's democracy? Think again. Look at Russia. Russia came from poverty. They locked their country down. It was autocratic. And then they got to where they are now. Look at Singapore. Singapore is also being blamed for being autocratic on so many fronts. But now they're the leading country. Look at Rwanda. It took them 20 years to get to where they are. Also autocratic. You need to lock down a country to get it from A to B. And we are a very difficult people. And Abi's doing a good job. He's not perfect, maybe to many people. Maybe he could have done things differently, but he's just starting out. No. Oh, no. What you want is to just vent, is to demand division. Division for what? To go backwards and then go forwards again. For what? You know how much energy it takes to build again? When we're already going forward in East Africa, we're leading in Africa. Everyone is looking at East Africa. And now here comes the Oromo people wanting to split, go back, regress, go back. Why? If you want some land and authority, follow the right ways to go through it. Follow the right means. If you don't feel like you're being heard, continue to do so, and also choose your timing. Is now the time when the dam is being filled? When Egypt is trying all its ways, all kinds of nasty ways to stop it from from happening? Now's the time for us to stand together. Think again. Outweigh the negatives and the positives. What does it take? Put everything into perspective. History, what it means to move a country from where it is to migrate to the future, to make it better, to evolve. Excuse my words, I'm getting really angry right now. I made a video previously making it really soft to try to understand. I tried to break it down, tried to listen to the grievances and put it in nice blocks. But I got nowhere. No responses. So maybe me being angry will get a response. I really want to understand why the Oromo people are this way. Why? So you say that your voice helped him get elected. So what? So what? He's bringing the country where it needs to go now. He's taking us from A to B. It takes over 10 years, 20 years to really go where we need to go. He's just starting. And you need to give him a chance. And you need to use the right avenues. And you need to stop making people kill people from the comfort of your sofa. Inciting violence and hatred and division. Ashamed. I'm so ashamed. But you know what the nice thing is? Ethiopia is strong. Ethiopia is strong. It's lived through many things. And I'm of course, I agree. I understand. I'm young. I haven't been to the worst. But we as the younger ones need to know how to move forward without going backwards. And division and hate is backwards. It costs money. I live in Europe. When there are conflicts like this, they make sure that it's following the right discourse so that it does not take the country backwards. That conflict is managed in a clever, non-time consuming way, non-money consuming way. Excuse my English, I'm not saying it well. They're smart about it. When are we going to be smart about it? When are we going to stop talking about ethnic divide? Because that is time consuming and it does not build buildings. It does not build railways. It doesn't do nothing. It just takes us backwards. Look at the Western states. Which Western state has conflicts like this? Whichever ones that do are going backwards. And your invitation right now with all this shouting online, Oromo first, Abiy must go, is tell me how that helps us. You, yourselves, and us. How? And for the record, one of the things that you guys are complaining about, one of your grievances, I don't want to miss a point, is that you are blaming the Prime Minister of holding on to power during the October elections. That was the time COVID hit. My question to you is, did you check to see whether that was a good time to push for power change, for a government change? Just logically speaking. Just forget about a country for a minute. In a company, when there are internal changes, the last thing you do is change the governance of the company. First, you make the change, and then you do the governance change. You have to keep a stable ground and foundation to manage changes. Forget Ethiopia, even the Western world are really having a challenge with dealing with COVID. So my question is, for all the Oromo people who are saying, oh, he should have just done the power change, he's trying to hold on to power. Are you really thinking for the benefit of the country? Or are you just thinking about now it's your turn to rule? No, I'm trying not to get offended by the fact that I'm angry. I'm asking you a question. And I will reiterate this last point. When you are going online and you're speaking to these news outlets about Ethiopia, the only thing they are listening to and reporting on from the angle is for their own interest. That's it. That's it. They don't care how damaging whatever they're saying is. They don't care about what the outcome of what they're sharing is. So here I see the news outlets, which I don't like, this so Eurocentric. And here comes the Oromo people just babbling their mouth. And you don't even include other. Okay, I am going to now try to calm down. If I have offended you, I want to say sorry, but at the same time I don't want to because you've offended me and goodness knows how many Ethiopians. You've taken our laundry, put it out in the public, thinking I don't know what your outcome is with all this ranting. What is it that you're looking for? That the country is divided again? When there's no calls for that? Based on what? That you were not heard. That's it? Is that all? So, if I have missed any kind of grievance that you've had, please share it with me if you can, because the first thing I wanted to do was try to understand. But the more I looked online, the less I understood. The less I could see reasoning behind your push to shame Ethiopia, to shame our prime minister, to belittle all the progress he's made so far. I cannot think of one reason you have that is justified for all the killings, for what you're asking for to regress, where we need to go forward, especially now, if you really are looking about what's going on around the world. If I've missed anything, share it. If I'm incorrect about anything, let me know. And that's all I have to say. I'll leave it to you now.